Hello, my name is James Storm, Senior Product Manager at D2L. I'm going to take some time today to show you our new offering for learning portfolios for young learners in K-6 situations. We took a lot of time to make sure that it's not only easy for students to capture evidence of learning, but we're also making it really easy for teachers to manage that process of that evidence capture so that it minimizes their time and they can capture things effectively as possible. So let me show you how the experience is going to work with a shared device in a blended classroom, first for the teacher setting up the application. So setting up the application is very simple. You download it from any app store, whether it's the Apple App Store or the Android Play Store. And when you run it, you're asked to set up for the first time. And you set up the app using very simple passcards. So there's no need to enter long, complicated URLs or usernames or passwords. The identification of users with the product is done with a simple QR code identification. And setting it up is simple. You point it at the passcard for the teacher's classroom, and it's ready to go. And now the teacher can give the iPad to the students in the classroom to go and capture photographic and video evidence of the things that they've done in class. So as a student, when it's my turn to take a picture of something I've done in class, I start the application and I'm greeted with this sleeping funster. And the first thing I need to do is wake up the monster. And I do that by simply clicking up the wake time button. And now it's my opportunity as a student to show the monster my own personal passcard that the teacher printed for me at the beginning of the school year. And that's as simply as doing this. And now the monster is ready for me to take pictures of the things that I've done in class. So I tap on Picture Time, and now I point the iPad at the item that I want to take a picture of. And you'll notice there's no button for the student to click. The tablet waits for this device to be held still, because we know maybe a young child might not be that great at holding this big iPad very easily. But once it's held still, it counts down and captures the evidence that the student wanted to catch. The student now has the opportunity to accept this picture or click no. If they tap no, it'll let them take the picture again. Tapping yes is very simple. Now the student has the opportunity to leave a reflection. Right? What this application does is it allows the student to tell the story, and it records them telling the story to the monster so that you can capture not just the photograph of the product that was created, but also the student's thoughts. So you simply tap that button, and as you tell the story about what it meant to you to do this project in class, the monster happily nods at you until you're finished telling the story and you tap all done. And then the funster says, thank you very much, bye-bye, and now it's time for the next student in class to take the shared device and start capturing the things that they've done in class as well. So as you can see, we've made it really easy for students to capture evidence of learning that they've done in the classroom. And because we've made it so easy, that means there's going to be a lot of evidence captured for the teacher to handle and deal with as it comes into the system. And we've made sure that we made that as easy as possible. So let me show you what the teacher experience is like once the students are capturing all kinds of wonderful things they've done in class. So here is a class homepage for a homeroom classroom. And on the top left corner here in our new navigation system, we see a portfolio link. So we go into Portfolio, and it will load up the first screen of Portfolio, which shows the teacher tile for every student in the class. She can see all of the students, and she can see interesting information about each of their portfolios, like the number of pieces of evidence that have been captured, the number of things that have been shared with parents. And interestingly, there's background photos on here, and these are done automatically by the system. So the background photo for each of these tiles is automatically selected based on the last thing that the student has captured in the system. This gives this interface life and dynamism without requiring any work of the teacher to update the images. You can see here's the picture of her Lego model that Jamie just captured. So as a teacher, I can look at this, I can approve it into the portfolio. So as a young learner, you still require the teacher to play that auditor role to make sure things going into the portfolio are acceptable. So I can simply approve that and add it to the portfolio. And I can also jump to look at more details about this item. I can see a bigger picture of the photograph. As a teacher, I can leave some comments for the student to see about what I think of their project that they've done. I can change the title if I wanted to give it a title. I can listen to the recording of the reflection that Jamie left. And if the student didn't leave a reflection but had more thoughts about what they had built, the teacher can type the thoughts here on their behalf. So imagine a scenario where the teacher is at their desk and the student's sitting next to them and telling them about the project that they've done. The teacher can type in notes on behalf of the student if the student's not yet proficient with a keyboard. The last thing that I'll show you on this screen is the parent sharing. It is very, very easy for the teacher now to bring parents into the ecosystem and give them direct links to the things that the students are doing in class. And that's really, really simple. If you have our new Brightspace for Parents integration running, sharing with parents from a portfolio item is simple as clicking that box, and now Jamie's parent will be able to see this item when they log in the Brightspace for Parents. So you can see how we've made this super, super simple to capture all this evidence of learning. It allows the teacher to add comments, do things on behalf of the student for students who are not yet ready to type in rich information about their project, and adding it to the Brightspace for Parents, super easy as well. So we wanted to make sure that this product is as effective as possible as capturing evidence, while making sure it is the least amount of work as possible for teachers. So as you can see, we've made this really effective for very, very young learners. So children in K to 6. It's especially good for kids who maybe are not readers yet, because that application gives them that verbal guidance to go through the process. Now, some kids are a little bit more advanced and don't necessarily need a Happy Funster to guide them through the process of collecting evidence. And that's why we have a bit more of an advanced mode of the application that the teacher can select that gives students a bit more flexibility. There's two modes. We already saw the Funster mode, but I'm going to put it into the regular in-class mode. So I'm going to be Jamie again, and I'm going to scan my pass card. And you'll see how the application now will look a bit different. So there's no more Funster. It's just a more standard looking normal camera application you might see on an iPad or an Android device. But we have some different options here. We can flip it and do a selfie if you wanted to have your face in the context of the evidence that you've built. Or you can take a photo, or you can do a video. So I'll show doing a video here. So the tablet is now recording a video of this nice model that I've built. We can see that it spins and it's wonderful. And we'll stop it right there. And once it's captured, we now have a few other options. So right here within the app, as the student, I can give things a title, model. I can even record an audio reflection as well. So just like you did in the other app, I can tell a story using my voice about this thing that I've done in class. Or I can add my reflection here as text. And that's how easy it is for an older student to capture evidence. In this case, it was video. And I also gave it a title and a description, and I also left an audio recording as well. So you can see how simple that is. Just like in the simple mode, it automatically goes back, resets itself, so it's ready for the next student in the class, so that I can hand it off to my friend who sits next to me so they can capture their evidence of learning as well. Okay, so now that Jamie has captured the evidence of her mobile project here, as a teacher, I again see that come into the system in the Approve Evidence feed. So just like before, I will see the item come into the feed. But of course, since it's a video, I can preview that video and watch that video right in the context of the web browser, so I can see how it works and hear what they said about it. Right? I can leave comments, and I can see the title that Jamie left, and I can see the thoughts that Jamie left as well. Additionally, what I'll show you here is the categorization system as well. So some schools or school boards or districts will have a way that they want their teachers to be categorizing the information that's going into portfolios. So it's very easy for the school to set up what are the categories that they want to use to categorize objects. And as a teacher, I can simply say, well, this is a part of the All About Me portfolio, and it also happens to do with science. So that's how easy it is to categorize evidence. The last thing I want to show you today is what this experience within Brightspace in the web browser is like for the students themselves. I've shown you the student experience on the devices, both for the very young learners and slightly more advanced learners. But there's also, because we're in Brightspace, the students can look at their portfolios and add things to their portfolios directly through the web browser in Brightspace. Here we're looking at we're playing the role of Jamie here, and Jamie's looking at his portfolio, and he sees the homeroom tile here. So these are all the things that Jamie has captured for his portfolio. We can see the model video that he's done, and all the other things that he's been capturing and putting into his portfolio. But what I'll show you here, the additional value or the additional features that Jamie gets by looking at it in Brightspace is the ability to add other things, such as uploading a file from his desktop. He might have been working on an essay using Microsoft Word, for example. He can finish that and upload it to the portfolio here. Jamie can also attach documents from popular productivity suites such as Google Drive and Office 365 as well. So as you can see, we've brought to market here a brand new, a really simple to use learning portfolio solution that's designed not just for make it easy for students, but to also make sure that teachers can be as effective as possible and manage that influx of information and making sure they're capturing that evidence of learning and their thoughts about it and their reflections so that we can really provide a really rich environment for learning for schools that are using Brightspace. Thank you.